Has it ever crossed your mind how the midnight hours hold a mirror to the very things we try so hard to outrun during the day? Welcome, my friend. I am so glad your path led you here tonight. If you are tuning in right now, chances are your mind is racing, your heart feels a little heavy, or sleep feels like a distant country you just cannot seem to reach. I want to invite you to do something incredibly brave right now. Just stay with me. Do not close this video, do not look away, and do not let your thoughts drift back to the chaos. Give yourself just a few dedicated moments right here, because what we are about to share tonight is going to completely shift the atmosphere of your room. Together, we are going to unpack a profound peace that will quiet the storm inside your head, and by the end of our time together, you will find the rest your soul has been crying out for. You do not have to carry the weight of the world alone anymore. Take a deep breath, let your guard down, and let us begin this journey into the quiet together. There is a specific kind of stillness that only arrives when the rest of the world goes dark. During the sunlit hours, we are safely insulated by the noise of life. We have tasks to complete, deadlines to meet, people to talk to, and endless distractions that keep our deepest emotions buried beneath the surface. The sunlight acts as a temporary shield, helping us forget the fractures we carry inside. But then the night falls. The traffic outside fades away, the notifications quiet down, and the house becomes perfectly still. It is in this profound silence that the world becomes quiet, but our emotions grow much louder. Suddenly, the bedroom is no longer just a place meant for physical rest. Instead, it transforms into a crowded courtroom, a relentless battleground of the mind. As soon as your head hits the pillow, the review session begins. We replay old conversations, wishing we had said something different or wondering how we were misunderstood. We question our past decisions, dissecting our choices until we are paralyzed by regret. We project our fears into the future, agonizing over tomorrow, trying to solve problems that have not even happened yet. It is an exhausting cycle, an internal wrestling match where you are fighting against your own thoughts, using every ounce of your willpower just to force your brain to shut down. But tonight I want to tell you that you can stop fighting. What if this very evening could be entirely different? What if this bedtime did not have to be a source of dread, but could instead become a doorway? A beautiful, welcoming doorway into deep peace, into authentic healing, and into the comforting presence of the one who watches over you without ever growing tired. Sometimes the most deeply spiritual, holy thing you can possibly do is simply to rest. Society tells us that value comes from doing, from striving, from fixing, and from being strong. But true restoration begins when you realize you do not have to be strong enough to survive the night on your own power. You do not have to wait until your anxiety magically disappears or until every single one of your life problems is perfectly solved before you are allowed to rest. True rest does not depend on a perfect environment. It depends on a perfect presence. Tonight, you are invited to step away from the battlefield. You are invited to stop performing, to stop overthinking, and to simply let yourself be held by the one who already knows your deepest fears, who has counted every tear you have ever shed, and who has already walked into your tomorrow before you even open your eyes again. The storm may still be raging outside, but inside your mind, you can choose to let go. You are safe here. Step into that doorway with me now. Leave the courtroom behind, let the echoes of the battleground fade, and allow yourself to pass through the threshold into a space where you no longer have to defend your worth or fix your broken pieces. As we transition from the heavy chaos of your thoughts into this sacred space of quiet, there is a profound truth waiting to settle over your heart. To guide our steps through this doorway, I want you to hold on to a timeless whisper from the ancient scriptures. It comes from the beautiful lines of Psalm 4:8, a verse that has served as a sanctuary for weary souls for thousands of years. It says, "In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." Take a moment to let those words wash over your mind like a gentle evening tide. I want you to notice something incredibly beautiful about this promise. Something that your tired heart desperately needs to realize tonight. The verse does not say, "I will sleep when my bank account is full." It does not say, "I will lie down in peace when my relationship is restored, or when my body is perfectly healed, or when the people who hurt me finally apologize." It does not say, "I will rest when I understand exactly what is going to happen next week, or when I stop feeling every single trace of fear." No, the beauty of this truth is that it completely bypasses your circumstances. It simply says, "You alone keep me safe." This means that THNG does not wait for the storm to clear before he offers you his hand. He does not stand on the shoreline of your life, waiting for the waves to settle down before he decides to step into your boat. He brings the peace right into the center of the chaos. He enters the very heart of your anxiety, sits down right next to you on the edge of your bed, and breathes his stillness into the air around you. He does not demand that you become instantly fearless before you can approach him. He does not ask you to conquer your mountains before you can rest. He simply, gently asks that you stay close to him. So tonight, as we stand together in this doorway of peace, let us make a deliberate choice. Instead of trying to win the fierce fight inside your head, instead of playing out 100 different scenarios of how you might fail or how you might get hurt, I want you to surrender to the one who has already won every single battle that concerns your life. Think about how much energy you have spent trying to control the uncontrollable. Think about how heavy your shoulders feel from carrying the weight of a tomorrow that you cannot predict. What would happen if right now you decided to release your grip? Picture yourself opening your tightly clenched fists. Imagine letting go of the steering wheel of your life and allowing your hands to relax. Instead of wrestling with the infinite what-ifs of the future, you are choosing to trust the one who already knows the end of your story. You do not have to perform for him tonight. You do not have to put on a brave face, and you certainly do not have to pretend that you are okay if you are secretly breaking inside. You do not even have to figure out the right words to say because he reads the silent language of your exhaustion. All you need to do in this moment is just breathe. Feel the weight of your body pressing into your mattress, and let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Let the tight tension in your jaw completely melt away, and let your heart whisper a simple, wordless prayer. God, I am here. You see, the moment you turn your face toward him, even if it is just a silent shift in your thoughts, you will find that he is already closer to you than your very next breath. He has been waiting for you to grow weary of your own strength so that he could finally give you his. Tonight you are not falling asleep in the suffocating web of your worries. You are not drifting off in the lonely labyrinth of your overthinking. You are falling asleep directly in the sanctuary of his presence, and he is going to carry you safely through the darkest hours of this night. As your eyes begin to grow heavy, look back at the battleground we just left behind. See how small those worries look when they are placed next to the vastness of the one who holds the stars in place. The doorway is fully open now, and the atmosphere of your room is shifting. You are moving deeper into a shelter that no anxiety can penetrate, protected by a love that never sleeps, even when you need to. Breathe in his grace. Let the quiet expand around you, and prepare your heart to receive the divine protection that is about to surround your sleeping form. As we rest securely in that open doorway of peace, feeling the gentle embrace of a presence that never leaves, we are ready to move deeper into the sanctuary of the night. The courtroom of your mind has fallen silent, and the heavy armor you wore all day has been laid down at the foot of your bed. Now, as you prepare to close your eyes and let go of the last remnants of control, It is time to establish a divine boundary around your rest. We are moving into a space of absolute protection, a territory where your spirit can fully regenerate under the watchful care of heaven. Let us speak this truth over the atmosphere of your room right now. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for guiding me through every twisted path of this day. Thank you for staying close to me even in the moments when my anxious heart wandered far from your peace. Tonight I choose to rest in the unshakable truth that you are here with me fully, faithfully, and lovingly present. I invite your holy presence to saturate my spirit, to quiet my mind, and to fill every corner of my home. Visualize this protection setting in around you like a warm, glowing shield. Imagine a divine peace walking through every single room of your house tonight. It stands guard at every door, it seals every window, and it commands the noise of the world to stay outside. Nothing is permitted to enter this sacred space except your pure, unfiltered peace. We are completely surrendering the atmosphere of this night to your authority. If any lingering fear tries to rise up in the dark, let it instantly bow to your majesty. If any shadow of depression or heaviness tries to creep close to your bed, let it flee at the sound of your name. Your word promises us in the timeless lines of Psalm 91 that he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Hold on to that magnificent image as you breathe slowly. Tonight we ask that those heavenly angels surround your home like a mighty fortress. Let them stand like brilliant warriors of light over your bed while you sleep. Let their swords be drawn against any spirit of anxiety, any phantom of torment, or any late-night panic that might try to disturb your fragile rest. Under the shadow of those vast celestial wings, you are perfectly safe. Beneath the shelter of the Almighty, you are entirely secure. As the tension completely leaves your body, you can begin to breathe in pure peace because you know how near He is. You can breathe out all your deep-seated fear because He is actively removing it from your soul. Think of how the ancient kings and shepherds found their strength in the darkest nights. We remember how David sang beautiful praises in the midnight hours, even when he was running for his life in the desolate wilderness, hiding in cold caves from those who wished to harm him. He sat in the dark and declared in Psalm 6:3-6, "I remember you upon my bed and meditate on you in the watches of the night." If a man running for his life could find a song of praise in the dark, how much more can you find rest tonight? So in this very moment, let us choose to praise Him. Not because your bank account suddenly overflowed, not because all your health problems vanished in an instant, and not because your life is flawless. We praise Him simply because He is perfect in everything He does. Your worship can rise even in the deep dark, especially in the dark, because that is the exact environment where faith shines its brightest light. He is the eternal light that no darkness can ever overcome. He is the beautiful song that plays when your heart feels completely silent and numb. He is the baseline strength that refills you when you feel entirely empty. And He is the absolute calm when your thoughts begin to spiral out of control. He is and always will be the Lord over your night. If the enemy tries to whisper toxic lies in the quiet hours, let the truth of your Creator speak so much louder. If fear tries to grip your chest, remind your soul that the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? When your mind tries to drag you backward to review every single mistake, failure, and awkward moment of the day, remind yourself that His mercy is completely new, moment by moment washing you clean before the sun even rises. When sheer exhaustion weighs heavy on your soul, let yourself be lifted up by His gentle, unconditional love. Keep close to Him now. Feel your breath slowing down, syncing up with the rhythm of His peace. Let the warmth of His nearness quiet every single storm inside you. You are no longer on the defensive. You are hidden in a fortress of love, and the angels are taking their positions around you. Before you drift off into the deep restorative sleep that is waiting for you, I want to invite you to anchor yourself to this community of rest. If you felt a shift in the room, if you felt the weight lift from your shoulders during this journey, please take a brief moment to interact with this video. Like this video to help spread this healing atmosphere to another weary soul tonight. I would love for you to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell, ensuring that every single evening you have a doorway of peace to walk through when the world gets too loud. And right now, before your eyes close completely, leave a comment below. Type out the words, "God, I am here, and I receive your peace." Let that comment be your final physical declaration of surrender tonight. Read the comments of others who are sleeping under the same shield of protection, and know that you are never alone. Sleep well, dear friend. The angels are on guard, and tomorrow is already taken care of. Now that you have anchored your heart to this community of rest, and your final declaration of surrender has been spoken into the atmosphere, let the quietness deepen. Let the sounds of the world dissolve completely into the background. We are stepping over another threshold, now moving from the outer courtyard of protection into the inner chamber of absolute restoration. You have summoned the angels, you have claimed the promises of safety, and now it is time to let the divine hand of the great physician touch the hidden, wounded places of your soul. Let your breath slow down even more. Inhale the cool, quiet air of the night and feel the divine presence pull up a chair to sit directly beside your bed. He comes to you tonight, just as he did with the child Samuel visiting him in the stillness of the temple when the lamps were burning low. In that same gentle, hushed tone, he whispers to your spirit right now, "God, I am with you. I have called you by your name, and you are mine." You do not have to achieve anything to earn this closeness. You do not have to be an expert in faith. You just have to be like a child resting in the absolute security of a father who holds the universe. Think of the profound peace that filled the fishing boat on the Sea of Galilee. The disciples were terrified, paralyzed by the howling winds and the crashing waves that threatened to swallow them whole. But Jesus was asleep on a cushion, perfectly unbothered by the external chaos. And when they woke him in their panic, he simply spoke to the elements. "Peace, be still." Instantly the wind died down, and the roaring sea became as smooth as glass. Tonight, that very same Jesus is standing in the middle of your emotional storm. He is looking at the racing thoughts, the pounding chest, and the tidal waves of anxiety that have been tossing you around all day. Hear him speak those exact same words to your mind tonight, "Peace, be still." You can rest just like the disciples did after the storm died down, knowing that even the winds and the waves of your inner world must obey his voice. Or picture the incredible story of Peter locked away in the deepest, darkest dungeon of a Roman prison. He was bound with heavy iron chains, surrounded by armed guards, and facing a trial the very next morning that could end his life. Yet the scriptures tell us he was sleeping so deeply, wrapped in such an unshakable supernatural peace, that an angel of the Lord had to physically strike him on the side to wake him up and lead him out into freedom. That is the exact kind of peace that is available to you in this room tonight. It is a peace so profound, so illogical to the human mind, that it defies your current circumstances. It is a peace that becomes a living testimony to everyone around you, showing them that there is a power working within you that is greater than any prison life tries to build. Jesus, as we drift deeper into the night, we ask that you take every remaining worry left inside this weary soul. If there is any heavy burden left lingering on their shoulders, lift it away. If there is any deep-seated fear still gripping their chest, break its power right now. If there is any raw, open wound hurting them from the battles of the day, pour in your oil and wine to heal it completely. If there is any cruel voice of condemnation replaying past failures in their ear, silence it with your absolute grace. Lay your hands upon them tonight just as you did when you walked the dusty roads of earth. Touch the sick, touch the weary, and gather them into your arms just like the children you blessed. Touch their mind right now so that the chaotic thoughts begin to slow down, dropping their frantic pace until they align perfectly with your eternal truth. Touch their heart so that every tight corner of anxiety is dissolved and replaced with a deep, comforting warmth. Touch their subconscious mind and their dreams so that even while they are completely unconscious, you are actively speaking words of restoration, cleaning out the debris of stress and rebuilding their inner strength. Your presence is our ultimate peace. Your presence is our only true comfort, and your presence is our impenetrable protection. We praise you tonight because you are our fierce defender, fighting the battles we cannot see. We praise you because you are the guardian who never sleeps nor slumbers, watching over us when we are at our most vulnerable. We praise you because you are closer to us than the very night air filling this room. And we praise you because even when we cannot see the path forward, your hand is steadily guiding our steps. Tonight we are making a revolutionary choice in the quiet. We choose to adore you more than we acknowledge our fears. We choose to worship you louder than we worry. We choose to lift your holy name so much higher than every anxious thought that tried to dominate the day. Let your brilliant light flood into every dark shadow of depression. Let your unspeakable joy push out every deep sorrow, and let your steady hope replace every hesitation about the future. Let your peace fill every single breath that enters these lungs. Your mind can rest now because he reigns over all things. Your body can rest completely because he is the one who restores your cells. Your soul can rest because he is right here with you. Holy Spirit, settle the atmosphere inside this heart. Be the absolute calm in the center of their chest. Be the softness in their breathing, and be the gentle whisper that invites them into the deepest sleep they have experienced in years. Let this night be so much more than just a regular period of physical sleep. Let it be a season of intense emotional healing. Let it be a time of total spiritual renewal and a deep strengthening of their inner being. If they happen to wake up in the middle of the night, let the very first realization be that you are right there watching over them in the darkness. And when the morning light finally comes, let gratitude be the first thing that rises from their lips. Before sleep takes over completely, let the soul declare with absolute confidence, "My God is here. My God is profoundly good. My God is infinitely greater than the night. And because you are with me, I will rest well." Lose yourself now in the steady rhythm of safety. The room is heavy with his nearness, and the thoughts that were screaming an hour ago are now fading into nothingness. You are completely held, you are entirely safe, and you are ready to slide into a deep, beautiful sleep under the watch of the one who loves you perfectly. The soothing restoration of the inner chamber has quieted your spirit, and the healing touch of the great physician has smoothed out the fractures in your soul. Now we move seamlessly into another layer of this night. As your body sinks further into stillness, we enter a space of deep transformation. This part of our journey is about stripping away the heavy weights of self-reliance that you carried all through the day. It is about swapping the exhausting performance of the world for the effortless gift of grace. Take a gentle breath and let your heart sink into the deep mattress of humility. In the daylight hours, pride tells us a dangerous lie. It whispers that we must handle everything alone, that we must be the masters of our own destiny, and that any sign of weakness is a failure. We wear ourselves out trying to prove our worth to the world, building high altars to our own pride and self-sufficiency. But tonight, in this quiet sanctuary, you are invited to pull out those roots of self-reliance. Humility is not about thinking less of yourself. It is simply thinking about yourself less and thinking about the divine presence more. It is the peaceful realization that you were never created to live apart from the source of all life. Your grace is completely enough for every single weakness, every human flaw, and every heavy limitation you felt today. Let us remember the comforting words of 2 Corinthians 12:9, which remind us that divine power is made perfectly manifest in our moments of deepest weakness. So tonight you can finally stop pretending to be strong on your own. You can stop performing for worthiness. Tonight you are allowed to simply receive grace, unearned, undeserved, and overflowing like a vast ocean. Let this grace be the soft pillow beneath your head. Let mercy be the warm blanket that covers your body, and let humility be the quiet path that leads you into deep sleep. You are being molded into a likeness of perfect peace, gentle yet powerful, humble yet entirely victorious. As this spirit of humility settles over you, a holy desire begins to awaken within your soul. There is a deep thirst that the busy world could never satisfy. All day long we chase after temporary things, looking for approval, success, and physical comfort, hoping they will fill the empty spaces inside us. But in the watches of the night, we see the hollow nature of those earthly idols. We realize that nothing in this creation can satisfy the human heart like the presence of the Creator. We hold on to the truth of Psalm 73:25, which asks, "Whom have I in heaven but you, and earth has nothing I desire besides you." Let the distractions of the world completely lose their shine tonight as you behold the inner glory of peace. If your soul thirsts tonight, let it thirst for the living water that never runs dry. If you hunger, let your spirit hunger for the bread of life that sustains you through every trial. Let a holy obsession with this presence grow stronger with every slow breath you take. Let your soul whisper through the darkness, "More of you, less of me." Let your relationship with the divine be the absolute greatest treasure of your life, the highest source of your joy, and the most beautiful story ever written across your heart. This connection is not just a casual part of your life, it is your actual life. It is not a desperate backup plan for when things go wrong, it is your primary anchor. Let your silent worship awaken the heavens tonight. Let this deep desire ignite a gentle revival inside your own soul, allowing you to rest in joyful expectancy. Intimacy with the divine is the highest purpose you will ever know. So tonight we surrender even deeper than we did before. We choose to trust fuller, to love stronger, and to hunger more for what is eternal. We declare with absolute confidence that this presence alone is completely enough. Your past mistakes cannot stop you, your deepest fears cannot trap you, and your human weakness cannot disqualify you, because the presence fills you, the power sustains you, and the love completely transforms you. Imagine laying down your heart like soft clay before a master artist. Let the divine hands refine you, purify you, and wash away the residue of stress while you rest. Let every single beat of your heart be a silent yes to this sacred rest. Your life belongs to this love, not partially, not conditionally, but wholly and completely. As you drift closer to the edge of deep sleep, let your posture be one of absolute surrender. You are stepping away from the striving of the world and stepping into the rhythm of heaven. Every cell in your body is relaxing, every nerve is calming down, and your spirit is finally finding its true home. Breathe in the grace that is drifting through the room. Let the quietness wrap around you like a shield, and allow yourself to slide effortlessly into the restorative sleep that has been prepared for you since the beginning of time. The deep restorative hum of grace has blanketed your room, and the heavy chains of self-reliance have been completely dissolved by the spirit of humility. Now, as your body sinks even deeper into the mattress, we pass effortlessly into the 6th chapter of this night. The atmosphere is thick with a sacred tranquility. and your soul is finally vibrating at the frequency of heaven. We are moving from the place of quiet desire into the mighty fortress of absolute security, where your tomorrow is gathered up and held in safe custody before you even get there. Take a long, slow breath and feel the rhythmic rise and fall of your chest. This part of our journey is about the ultimate release of control. All day long, your mind has been micromanaging the universe. You have been holding your breath, gripping tightly to your plans, worrying about the outcomes, and trying to predict things that are completely outside your human capacity. But tonight, the Divine Shepherd is requesting that you release your grip on everything you cannot control. Place your deepest fears, your frantic what-ifs, and your heavy doubts into the strong, capable hands that design the galaxies. Let your spirit rest upon the timeless foundation of Psalm 46:10, which commands us, "Be still and know that I am God." Allow those words to anchor your floating thoughts. To be still does not mean you have figured it all out. It means you recognize that someone greater than you is running the world. You are choosing to trust that the Creator has already walked into your tomorrow, working all things together for your absolute good. You can trust Him with the unknown details of the coming day, because He is the supreme author of your story, the keeper of your days, and the fierce protector of your soul. You do not need to see the full blueprint of your life tonight. You just need to know the master architect. You do not need to know the next 20 steps of your journey. You just need to walk in step with the one who orders your path. So right now, let us engage in a sacred exchange. Breathe out your human fear and breathe in supernatural faith. Breathe out your heavy anxiety and breathe in absolute divine assurance. Breathe out your endless worry and breathe in the unchanging promises of old. Watch how your fear is instantly replaced with a quiet courage. This is not a courage based on your own unstable strength or your fluctuating energy. It is a ferocious courage rooted entirely in who He is. Your tired heart might whisper in the dark, "I do not know what will happen tomorrow." But your faith responds with authority, "I know exactly who holds my future." Your current circumstances might scream, "This problem is far too big for you to handle." But the quiet voice of the presence whispers, "I am infinitely bigger than any problem you will ever face." Your runaway thoughts might say, "What if everything goes completely wrong?" But the voice of truth interrupts and says, "What if I am doing something incredibly right behind the scenes?" Tonight you are making a conscious, powerful decision to elevate faith over panic, peace over chaos, and hope over discouragement. Your hope does not rest in worldly outcomes. It does not rest in perfect human timing, and it does not depend on situational perfection. It rests solely in the one whose love has never failed you, not even once. He is the God who finishes every single thing He starts. He is the God who parts the Red Sea when there is absolutely no way forward. And He is the God who works in the deep dark, weaving miracles together when your eyes cannot see a single piece of evidence. As you drift closer to the shores of deep sleep, let this divine peace rule over every lingering worry. Let the absolute truth dominate every single lie that the enemy tries to whisper in the quiet hours. Let a supernatural calm rule over the internal chaos. Let this fierce peace be your pillow tonight, and let the loving presence be your heavy blanket. Let the very last conscious thought in your mind before you drift off be this beautiful reality: Jesus is near. You do not have to think, "I must figure this out before sunrise." You do not have to think, "What if tomorrow goes terribly wrong?" You do not have to think, "How will all these bills get paid?" or "How will this relationship heal?" No, you can simply, profoundly, and joyfully rest in the reality that Jesus is near. Because if He is near, you are completely safe. If he is near, you are impenetrable to the attacks of fear. If he is near, you are already held in the palm of his hand. Let your mind grow beautifully blank now. Feel the heavy, sweet weight of sleep pressing down on your eyelids. The fortress is built, the guard is set, and the victory is already decided. You can close your eyes without a single hesitation, knowing that the one who watches over you is working on your behalf while you rest. Slide quietly into the dark hours, wrapped in a safety that cannot be shaken, and let your soul rest in the absolute stillness of God. The fierce peace of the fortress has enveloped your room, and the final release of control has left your soul beautifully light. Now, as the deep dark of the midnight hours stretches out around you, we slide into the 7th chapter of our journey. We are moving from the high walls of protection into the soft, tender space of ultimate comfort. This is the place where your human weakness meets divine strength, where the exhaustion of your body is finally met by an endless well of supernatural vitality. Take a very slow, deep breath and let your body sink completely into the mattress. You do not have to hold yourself up anymore. The universe is being managed by hands far greater than yours, and you are allowed to be completely weak in this moment. We remember the invitation from Matthew 11:28, where the gentle Savior looks at the crowds of weary, heavy-laden souls and says, "Come to me, all you who are tired and burdened, and I will give you rest." Tonight you are responding to that call. You are coming just as you are. You might be coming tired, but you are coming. You might be coming discouraged, but you are coming. You might be coming entirely empty, with absolutely nothing left to give, but you are coming. And because you have made that choice to turn your face toward him, you are about to receive a profound strength for your weariness, a deep comfort for your hurting heart, and a total rest for your overwhelmed mind. He is wrapping his immense compassion around the silent disappointments you hide from the rest of the world. He sees the heavy tears that no one else sees, the ones that fall silently onto your pillow in the dark. He hears the quiet, wordless cries that your voice is simply too tired to release. And in the middle of that quiet ache, he is whispering a beautiful promise over your soul. He is reminding you that tonight's tears are not the end of your story. They are simply the soil preparing for tomorrow's joy. We hold on to the truth of Psalm 30 verse 5, which promises that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes shouting in the morning. This current valley of stress or grief is not your final destination. It is simply a passage you are walking through, and you are not walking through it alone. Every single step, even the incredibly painful ones that made your heart bleed today, are leading you closer to a beautiful divine purpose. When you feel like giving up completely, remember that his hands are actively holding you up. When you feel entirely unseen by the world, remember that he notices every single breath that enters your lungs. When you feel utterly defeated by life, remind your soul that the ultimate victory belongs to the Lord, and he has never lost a battle. Your heavy burdens become beautifully light when you allow him to carry you. Your late-night struggles are not wasted. They are becoming perfect opportunities for his divine power to shine through your life. The difficult path you walk today is the exact soil where your faith is growing roots deeper than ever before. What the enemy meant for your absolute destruction.ng is turning into a message of hope. What life tried to use to break your spirit, he is going to use to build a powerful testimony. He is your baseline strength in weakness, your steady guide in moments of deep confusion, your ultimate peace under pressure, and your sweetest comfort in tears. Even if nothing changes in your external circumstances right away, something beautiful and permanent is changing inside you right now, because he is here. So tonight, lay the pressure down, release the exhausting expectation to have your life completely put together. Lean your full weight into the ocean of grace that is filling your room. You are enough for Him, and in Him, you are completely enough too. This night is not about your ability to be strong. It is about your willingness to be completely surrendered. It is not about your performance. It is about your rest. It is about trusting that the Creator is already at work on your behalf, moving mountains in the dark while you sleep. Yield your heart completely now. Yield your plans, yield your timeline, yield your fears, and yield every single unknown detail of your future. Find your rest in the unshakable truth that He will perfectly finish what He started in you. He will lead you exactly where you need to go, and He will restore every single part of your soul that has run empty. Feel the weight lifting from your shoulders. Feel the tight burden leaving your chest, and feel the static pressure draining from your mind. You are completely held. You are entirely safe, and you are resting deeply in Him. Before your mind drifts completely into the deep sleep that is waiting for you, let us anchor this moment of peace together. If you can feel the warmth of this comfort settling over your heart, take one brief moment to interact with this video. Like this video right now to help send this wave of healing and comfort to someone else who might be crying in the dark tonight. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so that every single night when your strength runs out, you always know exactly where to find a sanctuary of rest. And before your eyes close for the night, leave your mark in the comments below. Type the words, "I lay my burdens down, and I choose His strength." Let this comment be your final act of physical release tonight. As you drift off, let your heart be comforted by the reality that a whole community is resting under the exact same shadow of the Almighty with you. Sleep deep, dear friend. You are loved, you are seen, and you are being carried through the night. The tender embrace of ultimate comfort has smoothed away the aches of your weary soul, and the assurance of tomorrow's joy has settled deep within your heart. Now, as the midnight hour deepens and the world retreats into complete stillness, we drift naturally into the 8th chapter of our journey. This is the sacred space of total restoration, a divine laboratory of the spirit, where the worn-out cells of your body, the frayed nerves of your mind, and the exhausted corners of your subconscious are completely remade while you rest. Take a long, exceptionally slow breath and feel the absolute tranquility filling the room. This part of our journey is about the intentional, deep neurological and spiritual repair that happens when we sleep under the shade of the Almighty. All through the day, the friction of life has been draining your battery. The stress of your responsibilities, the weight of hidden expectations, and the constant demands of a noisy society have left you running on empty. You have spent your precious energy fighting battles behind the scenes, pretending to be whole while feeling completely fractured inside. But tonight, the Divine Restorer is stepping into your room to initiate a deep work of permanent healing. Let your thoughts drop their frantic pace completely and align with this beautiful truth. You do not have to fix your own broken pieces tonight. You do not have to figure out a rehabilitation plan for your emotional exhaustion. True healing is not a distant, abstract hope that you have to chase down with your own willpower. It is happening right here, right now, in the quiet shelter of this very room. We hold on to the powerful promise found in Psalm 147 verse 3, which declares that He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their deep wounds. Visualize those divine hands reaching out to touch your life in this moment. Imagine a gentle, warm wave of heavenly restoration beginning to flow down from above, washing over your bed like a soothing, crystal-clear river. Feel it touch the top of your head, calming the overactive pathways of your brain. Let it wash over your temples, relaxing the tight grip of mental fatigue that has made your thoughts feel so heavy for days. Jesus, we ask that your supernatural power penetrate every single cell, every nerve, every thought, and every memory of this weary soul tonight. where chronic fear has lived and built an unwanted home, we ask that you plant an unshakable courage. Where heavy shame has tried to anchor itself because of past mistakes, we ask that you plant a beautiful divine honor. Where the bitter roots of resentment or disappointment have settled deep into the soil of the heart, we ask that you pour in the sweet oil of absolute forgiveness. Restore a deep, lasting strength where physical and emotional exhaustion have taken over. Restore a fierce, unbending peace where panic and late-night anxiety once ruled the mind. Think of how your body is designed to repair itself in the quiet hours of the night. While your conscious mind finally lets go of its guard, the creator of your body goes to work. He is repairing the hidden damage that daily stress has caused to your nervous system. He is soothing the tight, clenched parts of your heart that have been trying so hard to protect themselves from getting hurt again. He is replacing the restless tossing and turning with a deep, supernatural tranquility that feels exactly like being wrapped in a loving embrace. You are not just sleeping tonight. You are actively being put back together by the one who knit you together in your mother's womb. Let the gentle breath of thought ng renew everything that the harshness of life has tried to destroy. Let the rich oil of divine joy replace every single ounce of heaviness that has weighed down your posture. When you inhale the cool air of this room tonight, imagine that you are inhaling pure, unfiltered grace. When you exhale into the quietness, imagine that you are releasing every single burden, every toxic expectation, and every painful memory that you were never originally meant to carry. You can let it all go now. The trauma of the past, the rejection that broke your confidence, and the failures that made you question your worth are all being swallowed up by an ocean of unconditional love. What the difficulties of life meant for your absolute harm, the divine physician, is turning into a powerful, beautiful testimony of grace. You can rest in complete confidence knowing that this healing is deep, it is gentle, and it is entirely permanent. You do not have to worry that the anxiety will simply rush back the moment the sun rises tomorrow morning. The work being done in the quietness of this night is rewriting the script of your inner world. It is clearing out the toxic clutter of overthinking and replacing it with the solid, immovable truth of your divine value. You are loved, you are chosen, you are protected, and you are being thoroughly restored from the inside out. Let your breathing become a soft, rhythmic prayer of absolute gratitude. Feel the muscles in your jaw completely untangle. Let your eyelids become wonderfully heavy as they surrender to the sweet, sweeping tide of sleep. The atmosphere of your room is saturated with a holy presence that makes it impossible for darkness to stay. Any spirit of torment or late-night restlessness must bow to the majesty of the peace that is standing guard over your mattress right now. You are completely safe within this sanctuary of restoration. You are safe to let go of the last string of control. You are safe to fall into a deep, deep slumber that reaches into the very depths of your spirit. Sleep now, dear soul, while the hands of heaven continue to mend your heart, rebuild your strength, and prepare your entire being for a beautiful, bright tomorrow. The healing water is flowing, the angels are watching, and you are perfectly secure in His love. The deep river of healing water has washed over the fractures of your soul, and the divine oil of joy has completely replaced the heavy residue of daily stress. Now, as the night reaches its deepest quiet and your physical body becomes completely weightless in the dark, we slide naturally into the 9th chapter of our journey. This is the sacred chamber of total identity, the place where you leave behind the false labels the world tried to place on you today and step into the brilliant truth of who you truly are in the eyes of the Creator. Take another exceptionally slow, gentle breath and feel the perfect stillness wrapping around your bed like a soft garment of light. This part of our journey is about anchoring your mind to your true spiritual inheritance. All day long, you have been bombarded by the loud voices of society. The world has tried to define you by your productivity, by the amount of money in your bank account, by your relationship status, or by the mistakes you made before the sun went down. You have carried the exhausting labels of being stressed, being behind, being inadequate, or being forgotten. But tonight, as you lay defenseless in the quiet, the voice of truth is interrupting the silence to tell you exactly who you are. Let these words sink deep into your subconscious mind while your body relaxes completely. You are not defined by the battles you lost today. You are not defined by the anxiety that tried to grip your chest or the awkward conversations that you replayed in your mind. You are completely and beautifully defined by the love that is holding you right now. We hold on to the glorious truth found in 1 Peter 2:9, which reminds us that you are part of a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, and a special treasure belonging entirely to the divine. Visualize that reality settling over your room like a warm, protective mist. You are not an accident floating through a chaotic universe trying to survive on your own fragile strength. You are a meticulously designed masterpiece, spoken into existence with intention, purpose, and infinite value. The one who counts the sands on the seashore and names every star in the sky knows the exact number of hairs on your head. He looks at you tonight, not with an eye of judgment or disappointment, but with a heart overflowing with radical, unconditional affection. You do not have to perform to earn this love, and you cannot do anything to lose it. It is your permanent, unshakable home. Jesus, we ask that you write this true identity so deeply onto the tablets of this weary heart tonight that no lie of the enemy can ever erase it. Where the world told them they were not enough, let your spirit whisper, "You are entirely complete in me." Where fear has tried to label them as weak or helpless, let your truth declare, "You are more than a conqueror through the love that sustains you." Where the exhaustion of life has made them feel invisible and isolated in the dark, let your beautiful presence remind them that they are seen, they are deeply known, and they are fiercely protected every single second of the night. Think of the incredible freedom that comes from knowing your identity is secure. You can finally stop the endless striving for human approval. You can lay down the heavy, suffocating masks you had to wear for other people today. You do not have to prove your worth to anyone in this room, because your worth was already decided when the Creator chose you before the foundation of the earth. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to rest. And you are allowed to be completely at peace with who you are. Grace is your true inheritance. Mercy is your daily blanket. And unconditional love is the very air that you breathe. Let the reality of this divine adoption break every single chain of rejection or abandonment that has ever tried to wrap around your heart. You belong to the most faithful Father in the universe, a Father who will never leave you, never forsake you, and never turn his back on your cries. When you look at your future through the lens of this identity, the shadows of dread completely disappear. You are no longer walking into an unpredictable mystery. You are walking into a beautifully prepared plan. You are a child of the light, and there is no darkness in this night heavy enough to put out the lamp of hope that has been lit inside your soul. Tonight, you can sleep with the profound confidence of royalty. You do not have to stay awake trying to defend yourself against the worries of tomorrow, because the King of Kings has already taken up your cause as your personal defender. He is standing over your mattress like a warrior of light, canceling every negative word spoken against your name, disarming every trap laid for your future, and blocking every arrow of anxiety before it can even touch your mind. You can rest in absolute security because your life is completely hidden within the fortress of His Majesty. Let your breathing enter a state of perfect, effortless synchronization with this peace. Feel the last drops of tension drain out from your neck and down through your fingertips. Let your mind become a clean, quiet canvas, entirely free from the clutter of overthinking. The labels of the world have been stripped away, and the only label remaining over your life tonight is the word beloved. Hold on to that beautiful name as you prepare to drift across the threshold into a deep, uninterrupted slumber. You are safe to let go now. You are safe to fall asleep in the absolute certainty of who you are and whose you are. The spiritual atmosphere of your home is saturated with a holy dignity that drives out all panic and restlessness. Close your eyes, dear soul, and let yourself be carried deep into the quiet hours of the night, wrapped in the safest blanket of truth, knowing that the one who loves you perfectly is keeping watch over your spirit while you rest. The beautiful label of beloved has settled deep into your subconscious mind, and the secure fortress of your true identity has driven away every lingering shadow of rejection. Now, as the midnight air grows even more still, and your room becomes a perfect container of celestial quiet, we glide effortlessly into the 10th chapter of our journey. This is the sacred chamber of divine timing and alignment, the place where we lay down the exhausting anxiety of being behind in life and surrender to the beautiful, flawless rhythm of the Creator's destiny for you. Take a very deep, exceptionally slow breath and feel the ultimate stillness expanding all around your body. This part of our journey is about releasing the heavy pressure of time that the world forced upon you today. All through the sunlit hours, society screamed that you are running out of time, that you are not doing enough, that you are missing out, or that you are lagging behind your peers. You have carried the weight of invisible deadlines, comparing your quiet journey to the loud, curated highlights of others, leaving your spirit feeling frantic, hurried, and deeply unsettled. But tonight, in the quiet sanctuary of this room, the Lord of Time is stepping in to stop the clock and restore your soul to perfect alignment. Let your racing thoughts completely dissolve into the reality of this promise. You are not late. You are not missing your moment, and you have not been left behind by the goodness of THNG. Your life is unfolding in perfect harmony with a blueprint that was drafted before the stars were placed in the sky. We hold on to the timeless truth found in Ecclesiastes 3:11, which declares that He makes everything beautiful and perfect in its own proper time. Visualize that reality wrapping around your tired body like a heavy, warm blanket of assurance. You can stop rushing through your life now. You can stop holding your breath, waiting for the next big breakthrough before you allow yourself to be happy or at rest. The exact season you are walking through right now, even if it feels like a quiet winter or a hidden wilderness, is not a mistake. It is a vital, intentional part of your growth. The Master Weaver is meticulously placing every single thread of your life, the dark strands of struggle and the bright strands of joy, together into a magnificent tapestry that will surprise you with its beauty. Jesus, we ask that you touch the frantic, hurried areas of this weary heart tonight. Calm the nervous system that has been vibrating with the stress of false urgency for far too long, where the fear of the future has created a constant state of internal panic. Whisper your perfect stillness. Let your holy presence remind this beloved soul that you are the Alpha and the Omega, the absolute beginning and the glorious end of their story. You are already standing in their future, arranging the opportunities, preparing the breakthroughs, and lining up the exact right blessings that will meet them at the perfect moment. Think of how beautifully the natural world rests in this divine timing. The trees do not struggle or panic during the winter cold, worrying about whether the spring will forget to arrive. They simply deep freeze their activity, send their roots deeper into the earth, and trust the rhythm of the seasons. Tonight you are invited to do the exact same thing with your soul. You can let go of the frantic micromanagement of your life. You can stop trying to force open doors that are meant to remain shut for now, and you can stop wrestling with the timing of things you cannot accelerate. Surrender your personal timeline to the one who moves the tides and guides the planets. When you choose faith over the panic of time, your sleep transforms into a holy act of trust. You are declaring to the spiritual realm that you trust the planner even when you cannot see the full plan. You are declaring that you trust the one who orders your steps even when the path ahead looks covered in fog. You can breathe out the suffocating need to control your destiny and breathe in the effortless assurance that your future is completely secure in the palm of his hand. As you drift closer to the threshold of deep restorative sleep, let the peace of Christ act as a fierce shield over your mind. If the enemy tries to bring a toxic spirit of comparison or regret into the quietness of the night, let the truth of your alignment rise up louder. Your steps are being ordered precisely. You are positioned exactly where you need to be, spiritually, emotionally, relationally, and professionally for this specific moment in history. There is no missed opportunity that his grace cannot resurrect, and there is no lost time that his favor cannot multiply. Tonight, you can release the exhausting pressure to achieve worthiness through constant motion. Grace is your resting place, mercy is your shield, and perfect divine timing is the track upon which your life is steadily moving. Feel the tight muscles in your shoulders completely release their grip. Let your hands relax, your fingers uncurl, and your jaw drop open slightly as the last drop of daily strain melts away into nothingness. Your chest is moving in a soft, steady rhythm of safety. The room is heavy with the weight of his loving protection. The angels are standing guard at the windows and doors, ensuring that no spirit of rush, anxiety, or late-night torment can enter this holy space. You are completely held. You are beautifully hidden in the secret place of the Most High, where the rules of the frantic world do not apply. Close your eyes, dear soul, and let yourself slide into a deep, beautiful, and uninterrupted slumber, knowing that the God who never sleeps is steadily managing your tomorrow while you find your rest in him tonight. The beautiful rhythm of divine timing has quieted the frantic rush of your spirit, and the fortress of perfect alignment has driven away every exhausting thought of being left behind. Now, as the night deepens into its most sacred hours and your entire body completely surrenders to the sweet weight of gravity, we slide seamlessly into the 11th chapter of our journey. This is the sacred sanctuary of divine provision and absolute lack of want, the place where we break the spirit of scarcity that drained your mind today and rest in the overflowing abundance of your Father's house. Take a very slow, exceptionally deep breath and let your body sink further into the quiet safety of your mattress. Feel the complete support beneath you and realize that you are allowed to stop striving for survival in this moment. In the sunlit hours, the world operates out of a mindset of lack. It screams that there is never enough money, never enough security, never enough love, and never enough time. We wear ourselves out trying to gather, trying to protect, and trying to secure our own lives, leaving our spirits feeling deeply anxious, depleted, and starved. But tonight, the divine shepherd steps into your room gently, takes the heavy staff of survival out of your tired hands, and invites you to rest in the reality of his total sufficiency. Let your floating thoughts anchor themselves to the ultimate reality of this beautiful promise. You are not lacking anything that you truly need for this moment. You are a child of the King of the universe, and the storehouses of heaven are completely open over your life. We hold on to the timeless truth found in Psalm 23, verse 1, which declares with absolute authority, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Visualize those words settling over your bed like a gentle golden light. To say, "You shall not want," means you can stop panicking about what is missing. It means you can release the desperate need to figure out how every single need will be met tomorrow, next week, or next year. The one who feeds the birds of the air and clothes the lilies of the field in magnificent splendor is infinitely more committed to taking care of you. He knows your bills before they are due. He sees the empty spaces in your heart, and he is already working behind the scenes to arrange the provision, the favor, and the open doors that will surprise you with joy when you wake. Jesus, we ask that your comforting presence saturate the deep areas of stress within this weary soul tonight. Calm the survival instincts that have kept their nervous system in a state of constant high alert for far too long, where financial anxiety, relational lack, or emotional emptiness has created a painful ache in the dark pour in your supernatural fullness. Let your Holy Spirit remind this beloved heart that they do not live at the mercy of this world's economy or human limitations. They live under the economy of grace, where a single drop of your favor can multiply what little they have into an absolute overflow. Think of how beautifully a child falls asleep in the home of a loving, wealthy father. The child does not lie awake in the dark, tossing and turning, wondering if there will be food on the table tomorrow morning. The child does not stress over how the mortgage will be paid or how the home will be kept warm. They simply close their eyes, breathe in the safety of the house, and sleep with complete vulnerability because they know the Father is handling the details. Tonight, you are invited to rest with that exact same childlike innocence. You can let go of the heavy masculine weight of trying to be the source of your own life. You can drop the burden of self-reliance and allow yourself to be fully provided for by the one who never grows tired. Surrender your practical needs, your unfulfilled dreams, and your deepest concerns to the Creator, who holds the wealth of every mountain in his hands. When you choose to rest instead of obsessing over your lack, your sleep becomes a beautiful declaration of absolute faith. You are telling the spiritual realm that you trust the provider far more than you fear the problem. You are declaring that you are completely content to be a sheep in his pasture, hidden away from the predatory spirit of comparison and greed that dominates the world outside your door. As your eyelids become beautifully heavy and you prepare to cross the threshold into deep, uninterrupted sleep, let the fierce peace of Christ keep watch over your inner world. If the enemy tries to bring thoughts of scarcity, poverty, or impending failure into the quiet hours, let the truth of your abundance interrupt the lie. You are highly favored, you are deeply loved, and you are surrounded by goodness and mercy that will follow you into every single room of your tomorrow. There is no lack in your life that his grace cannot fill, and there is no empty space that his love cannot restore. Tonight, you can release the exhausting pressure to constantly secure your own worth and survival through endless motion. Grace is your comfortable pillow. Mercy is your warm blanket, and the overflowing provision of heaven is the secure foundation upon which you can sleep without a single care. Feel the final layers of tension melt out of your hands, your legs, and your chest. Your breathing is slow, rhythmic, and perfectly aligned with the heartbeat of heaven. The room is dense with the heavy weight of his loving protection. The angels of provision are standing guard at every entry point of your home, ensuring that no spirit of worry, lack, or late-night panic can disturb the holy rest that has been prepared for you. You are completely held. You are beautifully safe. Close your eyes, dear soul, and let yourself slide into a deep, magnificent slumber, knowing that the God who never sleeps is steadily arranging your blessings while you find your perfect rest in him tonight. The overflowing abundance of your Father's house has completely broken the spirit of scarcity, and the soft pillow of absolute provision has driven away every exhausting thought of survival. Now, as the night enters its quietest watch, and the dark hours stretch out in perfect stillness, we slide seamlessly into the 12th chapter of our journey. This is the sacred sanctuary of divine defense and invisible warfare, the place where we hand over the swords of your mental battles to the Lord of hosts and rest in the total certainty that heaven is fighting for you while you sleep. Take an exceptionally slow, calm breath and feel the deep tranquility settling into the very marrow of your bones. Let your body dissolve into the perfect safety of your bed and realize that you are officially off duty for the rest of this night. In the sunlit hours, you have been a warrior. You have had to defend your boundaries, fight against negative atmospheres, shield your heart from cruel words, and wrestle with an internal storm of doubt and pressure. Your mind is exhausted from being on high alert, constantly scanning the horizon for the next threat, leaving your nervous system frayed and your spirit deeply tired. But tonight, the captain of the angel armies is stepping into your room, gently removing the heavy armor from your chest and commanding you to be completely still. Let your floating thoughts anchor themselves to the ultimate reality of this powerful decree. You do not have to fight your own battles tonight. You do not have to stay awake to guard your own life or micromanage your defense against the future. We hold on to the fierce, unyielding promise found in Exodus 14:14, which declares with absolute sovereignty, the Lord will fight for you, and you need only to be still. Visualize that truth setting up an ironclad perimeter around your home right now. To be still means you can completely drop your weapons. It means you can close your eyes and stop reviewing the strategies of how you will survive the conflicts of next week. The Almighty is not a passive spectator in your life. He is your fierce, undefeated shield, and He takes your protection personally. While you lie there completely defenseless, entering the vulnerable state of deep sleep, the spiritual realm is filled with heavenly activity on your behalf. Heaven is roaring over your life while you remain completely silent. Jesus, we ask that your mighty presence saturate the atmosphere of this room tonight. Disarm every single lingering thought of panic or defensiveness within this weary soul. Where emotional battles, relation conflicts, or spiritual warfare have kept their minds circling in a loop of worry, speak your absolute authority. Command every toxic whisper of the enemy to be completely silenced at the sound of your name. Let your Holy Spirit remind this beloved heart that no weapon formed against them will ever prosper, and every voice that rises against them in judgment is already condemned by your grace. Think of the incredible stories of old, where victory was won without a single human blow being struck. We remember how Jehoshaphat's army simply stood still and sang praises, while the Lord threw the enemy's camp into absolute confusion. We remember how the heavy stone doors of Daniel's lion's den became a peaceful sanctuary because an angel of the Lord came down and shut the mouths of the beasts all through the night. Tonight, that exact same divine protection is active over your mattress. The Lord is sending confusion into the camp of every spirit of anxiety, depression, or fear that tried to hunt you down today. He is shutting the mouths of the lions of worry that have been roaring in your head. Surrender your invisible wars, your difficult court cases, your toxic work environments, and your broken relationships into the hands of the ultimate judge. When you choose to sleep instead of wrestling with your problems in the dark, your rest becomes a magnificent act of spiritual defiance. You are showing the enemy that you refuse to be terrorized by his lies. You are declaring to the universe that your safety does not depend on your human strength, but on the undefeated power of the one who holds your life. You can completely release the heavy weight of trying to vindicate yourself and breathe in the absolute assurance that your reputation, your future, and your sanity are completely secure in His hands. As your eyelids become beautifully heavy and you slide closer to the edge of deep slumber, let the fierce peace of Christ dominate every corner of your mind. If the night tries to bring thoughts of impending defeat, sudden tragedy, or hidden traps into your consciousness, let the truth of your victory interrupt the lie. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a child of the victor. You are covered by a blood covenant that cannot be broken, and you are surrounded by a celestial shield that no dark arrow can ever penetrate. Cancel every negative word spoken against your destiny today, and let the blessings of heaven seal your spirit for the night. Tonight you can release the exhausting pressure to constantly stand guard over your own worth and safety through endless overthinking. Grace is your impenetrable fortress. Mercy is your night watchman, and the absolute victory of the cross is the secure ground upon which you can sleep without a single fear. Feel the last remnants of defensiveness melt out of your jaw, your neck, and your tightly held chest. Your breathing is slow, heavy, and perfectly aligned with the steady peace of a secure stronghold. The room is dense with the weight of his loving, protective presence. The warrior angels of light are drawing their swords around your bed, standing as a mighty wall of fire between you and every plan of darkness. Every scheme designed against your peace tonight is being completely shattered before it can even approach your thoughts. You are completely held. You are beautifully safe. Close your eyes, dear soul, and let yourself slide into a deep, magnificent sleep, knowing that the God who wins every war is steadily conquering your enemies while you find your perfect rest in him tonight. The fierce swords of the angel armies have established an ironclad perimeter around your bed, and the divine decree of absolute defense has completely silenced the roaring lions of midnight worry. Now, as the deepest darkness of the night begins to blend with the very first invisible whispers of the approaching dawn, we glide seamlessly into the 13th chapter of our journey. This is the sacred sanctuary of divine hope and future expectation, the place where we leave behind the heavy dust of the past and prepare your spirit to inherit a beautiful prearranged tomorrow. Take an exceptionally slow, tranquil breath and feel the deep supernatural stillness expanding within your chest. Let your physical body sink even deeper into the comfortable security of your bed and realize that you do not have to carry a single mistake of today into the territory of tomorrow. In the sunlit hours, the world operates out of a mindset of dread and routine. It tells you that tomorrow will simply be a repeat of today's exhaustion, today's problems, and today's failures. It forces your mind to project your current anxieties into the future, leaving your spirit feeling deeply heavy, pessimistic, and afraid of what is coming next. But tonight, the author of your story steps into your room to completely turn the page and remind you that his mercies are completely new every single morning. Let your floating thoughts anchor themselves to the ultimate reality of this beautiful promise. Tomorrow is not a terrifying mystery that you have to figure out in the dark tonight. It is a meticulously designed plan, prepared by a Father who loves you perfectly and goes before you to order every single step you take. We hold on to the timeless truth found in Jeremiah 29:11, which declares with absolute authority, "I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Visualize that glorious truth wrapping around your tired mind like a warm, glowing sunrise of assurance. To rest in this promise means you can completely stop panicking about what the next day holds. It means you can release the desperate need to solve tomorrow's problems before you have even opened your eyes to greet the light. The one who holds the keys to your destiny has already walked into your tomorrow. He has already positioned the right people, set up the unexpected breakthroughs, arranged the divine opportunities, and prepared the favor that will meet you the exact moment you step out of bed. You do not walk into a dark void. You walk into a beautifully orchestrated blueprint of grace. Jesus, we ask that your hopeful presence saturate the deep, anxious areas of this weary heart tonight. Calm the nervous system that has been vibrating with the dread of tomorrow's demands for far too long, where the fear of failure, the weight of financial pressure, or the anxiety of complex responsibilities has created a dark cloud over their rest. Let your holy light break through. Let your Holy Spirit remind this beloved heart that they do not face the coming day on their own limited strength. They face it with the infinite power of the Creator of time, who goes before them as a roaring fire to level every mountain of difficulty and smooth out every rough path. Think of how beautifully the morning light drives away the shadows that seem so terrifying in the pitch black. The worries that look like massive giants right now will look like tiny grains of sand when they are placed next to the vastness of your Father's favor tomorrow. Tonight, you are invited to rest with the profound confidence of a conqueror. You can completely let go of the heavy weight of trying to predict or micromanage your future. You can drop the burden of anticipation and allow your spirit to rest in a state of joyful, sacred expectancy. When you choose to sleep instead of obsessing over your tomorrow, your rest becomes a beautiful declaration of absolute faith. You are telling the universe that you trust the planner far more than you fear the path. Surrender the coming day, the difficult conversations, the heavy tasks, and the uncertain outcomes into the hands of the ultimate shepherd. You can breathe out the suffocating pressure to perform or fix your life, and breathe in the effortless assurance that everything is already working together for your absolute good. You can close your eyes with a quiet smile, knowing that your tomorrow is completely secured, blessed, and packed with unexpected moments of divine joy. As your eyelids become beautifully heavy and you slide completely over the edge into a deep, uninterrupted slumber, let the fierce peace of Christ keep watch over your inner world. If the dark hours try to bring thoughts of defeat, lack, or overwhelming strain into your consciousness, let the truth of your bright future interrupt the lie. You are entering a new day of mercy, a new day of strength, and a new day of victory that has already begun in the spiritual realm. There is no obstacle waiting for you tomorrow that His grace has not already defeated, and there is no door of opportunity you need that His hand will not automatically open for you. Tonight, you can release the exhausting pressure to carry the weight of 2 days at once. Today is fully over. Its mistakes are washed clean by grace, and tomorrow is already taken care of by the one who never chaps his eyes. Grace is your comfortable pillow, mercy is your warm blanket, and the bright, unshakable hope of a beautiful tomorrow is the secure foundation upon which you can sleep without a single care. Feel the final layers of internal static completely melt out of your jaw, your neck, and your chest. Your breathing is slow, heavy, and perfectly synchronized with the steady peace of heaven. The room is dense with the heavy weight of His loving protection. The angels of hope are standing guard over your mattress, ensuring that no spirit of dread, panic, or late-night torment can disturb the holy rest that has been prepared for you. You are completely held. You are beautifully safe. Close your eyes, dear soul, and let yourself slide into a deep, magnificent sleep, knowing that the God of your past miracles is already standing in your future, steadily working on your behalf while you find your perfect rest in Him tonight. The bright, unshakable hope of a beautiful tomorrow has completely silenced every lingering trace of dread, and the gentle rhythm of your breathing has aligned perfectly with the steady peace of heaven. Now, as the night reaches its final, most sacred watch, we slip effortlessly into the 14th and final chapter of our journey. This is the place of absolute arrival, the inner sanctuary where your spirit finds its true home, wrapped in the safest blanket of love that the universe has ever known. Take one final, exceptionally slow, deep breath, and let your entire being dissolve into the complete custody of the Almighty. The fortress is built, the warrior angels are on guard, and the victory over your anxieties has been fully decided. You are now resting under the very shadow of the wings of the one who never chaps. His eyes never grows tired and never abandons his beloved. Every single cell in your body is saturated with a supernatural tranquility that feels like being held by love itself. The storms of your mind have completely lost their power against this sanctuary. You are safe. You are held. You are profoundly loved. As you prepare to let go of the last thread of consciousness and drift into the deep, magnificent slumber that has been prepared for you, I want to thank you for walking this sacred path with me tonight. You have fought well during the day, but now the fight is over and the rest is yours. Before sleep takes over completely, let us seal this environment of absolute peace so it remains with you until the morning light. If your soul found its home here tonight, if the heavy pressure on your chest has finally melted away, please take one quiet second to like this video, allowing this global circle of rest to reach another weary heart somewhere in the dark. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell, ensuring that every evening, no matter how chaotic the world gets, you always have this doorway of healing to walk through. And right now, as your eyelids close for the night, let your fingers type one last declaration of victory in the comments below. Leave the words, "Amen, I am safe in his arms." Let that be the final physical boundary you set against the darkness. As you drift off, know that you are sleeping under the same shield of protection as thousands of others who have stood in this sanctuary with you tonight. The room is still, the atmosphere is holy, and your tomorrow is beautifully taken care of. Rest deep, dear soul. Amen.